Hello and welcome to the Comeback Mechanics May 2025 Gym Leader Challenge Tournament. My name is Cody Hope, casting for you this feature match between Maverick Atterbury on Hydro Pump Water and Omar Pastrana with Fighting. The Comeback Mechanics are a competitive team based in Dallas, Texas, and this matchup is from our monthly Gym Leader Challenge Tournament. And as always, the content produced by the Comeback Mechanics is brought to you by Lone Star Pack Breaks in Carrollton, Texas, who very generously provide prizing for all of our monthly tournaments.
Join Lone Star Pack Breaks live on Twitch Wednesday through Friday nights to rip into the latest Pokemon sets in English and Japanese, plus One Piece, Weiss, Union Arena, Final Fantasy, and more. LSPB ships anywhere in the U.S., or if you're local, choose in-store pickup at their shop in Carrollton, Texas. Pickup orders are usually ready 1 to 2 days after a stream. Plus, if you're a Pokemon player, don't miss their standard tournaments every Wednesday and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Check out the links below to get in on the action.
Big thanks again to Lone Star Pack Breaks for sponsoring the channel. Over on to the matchup now. We see that Omar is on the right and he is playing a pretty standard fighting deck here. I personally really like calling this deck Fight Guys because it's just a bunch of guys that punch for one energy. And we see that we've started on the Okidogi, arguably the strongest attacker in the fighting archetype with that Adrena power, giving it plus 100 HP and plus 100 damage if it has a dark energy attached to it. Unfortunately, not a very strong start for Omar. Just going to see an attach and pass. Now, notably, the Okidogi is just kind of good enough that we don't expect Maverick to take a knockout on this first turn, and Omar could just slap down like a Prism Energy or something and get attacking on the next turn here. Let's see, over on Maverick's side, I think he starts off with that Hisuian Heavy Ball. There are no Pokemon in there, but there are lots of very, very good cards in the prizes. We see notably that Dive Ball as well as the Ball Guy. We do know that Maverick is playing a very standard Hydro Pump build of water. The big thing right now is we are all a huge fan of this Journey Together Wailord. Very, very strong attacker. Just ginormous amount of HP, hits for such an insane amount of damage as well. We see Maverick is going to go Quick Ball, getting rid of the Iono, and I imagine, we're going to see some water greatest hits here. I imagine we'll see the Sobble, could maybe see the Remoraid. Those are kind of the ones that I would expect to see. And yeah, I'm going to see that Sobble, and notably, something that I really like here, Maverick is on that Rapid Strike Remoraid, so if Maverick is able to, he may even could use that Keep Calling attack of the Sobble to get that Remoraid over onto the bench. I think that would be really cute. Comes up every once in a blue moon. I don't think it's going to be happening here, especially because we see that Maverick is playing that Irida, and he is just going to be grabbing that Remoraid right now. I imagine maybe the other card could be something like, okay, no, he is rethinking here. Yeah, getting that Buddy Poffin is going to allow him to not only get that Remoraid, but also get something like that Vulpix or maybe the Frigibrax as well. And going to get the Drizzile as his Pokemon. Makes a lot of sense. Going to get all of his basics down this turn, and then going to go ahead and have that Shady Dealings Drizzile for the next turn. I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. The Shady Dealings ability, one of the strongest things to be doing in the water archetype right now. It's fantastic for consistency, and it is also fantastic as an attacker when it finally gets to the Inteleon with that Aqua Bullet attack here. We see an attach to the Snom, and I think we're actually going to be doing that first attack here. Going to be doing that Ice Find, search your deck for 2 water energies and put them into your hand. This is very nice. Sometimes the difficulty with the Hydro Pump archetype is just getting enough water energy in play to be able to take knockouts when you need to. And this Ice Find, actually a very relevant attack in this matchup, so very, very nice here. We go back over to Omar's side here. We do see a bench of the Sandygast going to be evolving into that Palisand with that Sandspot Trap. Does 30 to all of Maverick's Pokemon. All right, we're going to see him go Arven here, and we're going to take a peek at the prizes thanks to that Matty Map house rule. And oof, unfortunately, we do see the Palisand is in the prizes, as well as that Nactyl, which is trying to end up as the Garganactyl with that energizing Rock Salt ability. Now, notably here, because Omar is playing Arven, he could choose to grab the Hisuian Heavy Ball if he thinks that the Nactyl is going to be important enough for this matchup. Now, we also know that Omar is playing a singular Dark Energy, doesn't want to just draw into one of these rainbow energies. Instead, he is opting to play something like a Professor's Letter to try to get that out here. And he's playing Earthen Vessel as well, which is going to be the grab here, Earthen Vessel and Bravery Charm. So, yep, going to Earthen Vessel away a fighting energy to get another fighting and a dark here. So that Okie Dokie is just getting set up on his second turn. The first turn that Omar can attack, he is going to be taking just a huge knockout with this Okie Dokie. And this Okie Dokie is a bit of a bully. You just can't knock it out cleanly, really, without having a very specific, board state, very specific Pokemon. And so, yeah, it's just going to be tough. And notably, because he's actually attaching a dark no, just going to attach another fighting energy. Oh, that's right. Okay, you know what? That's my fault. My fault here. I'm just so used to that. Those rainbow energies getting to do double duty, right? The rainbow energy gets to be the fighting energy for the attack cost, as well as the darkness energy for the Adrena power. But because Omar is choosing to use that regular dark energy, he could attach it, but he could not then do the good punch attack here. So that's my fault. I was not using my brain there. But still gets to take a knockout on that Schnom here, and then going over to Maverick's side here, going to see an Arven. Now, notably, the Okie Dokie does just have 180 thanks to that Bravery Charm, and we know Omar has the Dark Energy for his next turn, so that Okie Dokie will be at 280 big Okie Dokie V-Star once he does that. And for Maverick here, it looks like the Float Stone is going to be the tool off of the Arven, and the item, I could imagine just Evolution Incense being the grab here, get up into that Octillery, or maybe get up into the Archibax if he needs to. Could also see, just going to see the Evolution Incense. Makes a lot of sense here, especially because I think Maverick is going to be able to play out most of his hand this turn. Another play we could see is evolve the Sobble into the Drizzile, go get Rare Candy, use the Evolution Incense to get Baxcalibur, and we could just see Rare Candy Baxcalibur, put 3 water on it, and then go for that Buster Tail attack. I think that would be really, really slick here. And I think that may be what we do here. We see Rare Candy off of the Drizzile, and going to see that Evolution Incense here. Very nice. Very, very nice. That is kind of the reason. Oh no, just gonna grab the Octillery here. Maybe Maverick has something like an Ultra Ball or something in his hand. Or oh no, he just already has the Baxcalibur in his hand. That is just fantastic. Absolutely. Dang. So Maverick gets to kind of just get everything out here. Big Accelerate 3 energy on the Baxcalibur, put down the Float Stone, and wow, just fantastic here. He's gonna get to use that Abyssal Hand to draw a clean 5 cards here. That Octillery really said, let's give him a hand. Huh? No? Get it? Give him a hand? Because he doesn't have any cards. Anyway, we take a look at what Maverick got here. And wow, he got the Shady Dealings Intellion. And has the Manaphy as well as a Rough Seas. And yep, we're just going to see Maverick accelerate a water energy onto that Drizzile. Very, very nice here. So what I really like about the Baxcalibur here, and it's the reason why since Baxcalibur's release, we've seen it take the place of the Blastoise as the Rain Dance Pokemon of choice here, and it's because the Buster Tail attack can take knockouts here in Gym Leader Challenge. 130 is such a relevant number. A lot of these single prize, a lot of these basic Pokemon that we see in Gym Leader Challenge just kind of have around that 130 range, and so Baxcalibur, as we see here, gets to just kind of be an attacker. And good news for Maverick, because he found the water energy he needs. Even if Omar takes a knockout here with the Okie Dokie, which he probably will, he just gets to go Intellion, attach an energy, knock out this Okie Dokie, prep some damage on the bench. It's just very, very nice spot for Maverick to be in. And that Intellion will probably grab something like a Nessa or even something like a Super Rod just to put those Rain Dance Pokemon back in the deck for a future turn. But back on Omar's side here, we see that the Nactyl was the prize card grabbed here, so he's going to bench that Nactyl, and then we're going to see the oh goodness, what's the name of this card? The Arezu, sorry y'all, that allows him to search for 3 evolution Pokemon. Very, very nice here. And we see that he's going to grab some of his evolutions for next turn. Just going to slap a basic Dark Energy on that Okie Dokie and then take a big knockout on the Baxcalibur here. Now, the good news for Omar here is we've seen this in the past where when you use those rainbow-type energies to get the Okidogi online, something like an enhanced hammer can come down and just really ruin your day, removing 100 HP from the Okidogi, really putting it in range of an easy knockout, or sometimes just making it where the Okidogi gets knocked out as soon as that dark energy gets removed. But because Omar has put the dark energy on it, there is no chance of that happening. No enhanced hammer plus field blower or something like that. And then we see an evolution up into the Inteleon, and it's looking like Maverick is eyeing up that field blower, is on the top of the deck here. I do imagine he'll probably find some kind of recovery. I think Nessa would be really nice at this point in time because all the Rain Dance Pokemon are in the discard pile. The Snom is in the discard pile as well as the Excalibur and the Frigibrax. So, and there's a couple water energy in there as well, so we could see something like that. If he gets Nessa, we'll be able to attack with this Inteleon, and we'll just go ahead and have all of his Rain Dance Pokemon set up. We see Maverick's double checking some HP here. The Okidogi notably has 150 here. It's got 130 on it, and then has 100 because of the Dark Energy, 50 because of the Bravery Charm. So, unfortunately, right now that Inteleon cannot take a knockout on the Okidogi. So I do imagine we'll probably see like Nessa plus Field Blower seems like a pretty good grab here. And yep, that's exactly what we are going to see. I think this is very, very, very tight gameplay from Maverick here, already thinking about those future turns. Want to make sure that he has his Rain Dance Pokemon for next turn here. Would have been really nice for that Frostmoth to have been the first Rain Dancer, because then on his next turn, Maverick could have Rain Dance set up. And notably right here, he will not be able to... Okay, he is just going to choose to get the Water Energy, not choosing to recycle that Excalibur line, because, again, we have seen that the... Rare Candy has already been used, so Maverick would not be able to go into that Excalibur next turn. But we see he's got the Ultra Ball in his hand, so he is going to be able to Ultra Ball for that Frostmoth on the next turn. And because the Octillery has the Float Stone on it, it gets to function not only as a great pivot, but it also gets to be great for that Ice Dance ability. Now, notably, Frostmoth's Ice Dance only lets you accelerate onto the bench here. It does not allow you to accelerate active. And we just see Maverick's going to instead Ultra Ball now for the Wailmer, wanting to set up his next attacker, that Wailord. And because of that Abyssal hand, Maverick does just get to draw just a ton of cards here. And oh, I didn't even see that. He has the Level Ball to get the Frostmoth. Well, he would if he didn't just draw it for turn. So very, very nice here. And then big Aqua Bullet, going to knock out that Okidogi. I think putting 20 on the Sandygast makes a lot of sense here, but instead going with the Nactyl. We do know that Omar did not grab the Palisand off of the Zeru, so we know that he's not going to be evolving it this turn. So I think there's actually a decent chance that the Inteleon could put enough damage on the Sandygast to knock it out here. But Omar is just going to promote that Sandygast, probably just going to allow it to get knocked out here by the Inteleon on the next turn here, and just going to see some big evolutions, I would imagine. Oh no, okay, the Palisand was grabbed off of the prizes that last turn, so my mistake. He is going to be able to go up into the Palisand and going to be able to attack with it because, again, what I really like about this fighting deck is just one energy is needed for most of these attackers here. Like this, the Palisand only needs one, Tinglu needs one, Primeape and Annihilape only need one. And then notably, he's playing things like the Blood Moon Ursaluna as well as the Galarian Zapdos, which put 2 fighting energy on themselves when you play them. So then you only need to attach 1 for turn, right? So all these Pokemon just be kind of set up out of nowhere. We see that Omar's going to play Scorched Earth. It's kind of a concealed cards on a stadium, can discard a fighting or a fire energy to draw 2. So very nice little piece of draw support here, because notably the fighting archetype does not have any support Pokemon that draw cards. All the support Pokemon like will accelerate energy into play, like the Garganactyl or the Colossal, or we see that they like have combat based attacks, things like the Machamp and the like. So getting that Scorched Earth stadium going to be really nice, allowing Omar to just kind of draw some extra cards here. And then we see the Super Rod coming down here. Omar just going to recycle that Okidogi plus 2 fighting energy. Omar is only on the 1 dark energy, but we see in his deck list that he is also playing a rainbow energy as well as a luminous energy. So very, very nice here. Unfortunately, though, I don't really know what Omar's going to be doing on this turn. He doesn't have any energy in his hand right now. And he's just going to retreat into that Nactyl sack here, and just probably going to be sacrificing it here. there's probably a Minecraft joke somewhere in there, because the Garganactyl line looks like a Minecraft thing, but I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure that out. Back over on Maverick's side here. Yeah, really nice for him. Gets to evolve into that Frostmoth, and he's got Professor's Letter in his hand, so gets to start setting up the Wailmer here. Now, notably, Maverick is on the Wailmer from Journey Together as well. Has that Surf attack for 60, which is, relevant. 60 does knock out a lot of the evolving basic Pokemon in the format. Choosing not to play the Hydro Pump Wailmer. Just like some kind of small things that I'm noticing here. And then just big versus Seeker to get back Irida. Irida going to go find another water Pokemon. I imagine the Wailord. And then any item card he wants here. Could get something like that Earthen Vessel, Capacious Bucket, things like that. Just to get some more water energy into play here. One thing that Maverick is playing that I really like is he's playing that Pot Helmet, which reduces the amount of damage that the Wailord takes. And because the Wailord is so big, that 30 less will really compound. A lot of times when you see these kind of damage reduction tools, they might as well just be giving plus 30 HP, right? They might as well be just kind of a worse Bravery Charm or like a worse Cape of Toughness. But we see that because that Wailord has 240 HP, there's a chance that the Pot Helmet could be reducing 60, 90 damage here, which then, when you think about it that way, is much better than a Bravery Charm. We are going to see evolution in the Wailord, some energy get put on it, and then Abyssal Hand for 1. Unfortunately, nothing too good for him. We do see he's got the Rescue Stretcher. We could have seen Maverick do something like Rescue Stretcher, shuffle back in the Baxcalibur line, and then use the Nest or the Level Ball to get out the Frigibrax, and then he has the Archibax in his hand already to evolve on the next turn. But instead, just choosing not to do that, just going to take a big knockout on the Nactyl Sack here. And then it's going to be back over to Omar, and I don't think he drew an energy here. So I see Thornton. Thornton's really cool. It's a very cheeky supporter here. You can kind of use it to recycle that Okidogi. Because the Okidogi needs 2 attachments for turn, it's sometimes hard to get it all set up in one turn here. But instead we're just going to see the Escape Rope here, just going to push up the Octillery for Maverick. And it's got that Float Stone, so unless Omar has something like a Field Blower, that Octillery is just going to be able to retreat for turn. Understand what Maverick's doing here by pushing up that Octillery, but there is a world where he just dies, and that is exactly what is going to happen for Omar here. He wasn't able to find any other Pokemon, and so Maverick is just going to be able to retreat out of that Octillery, use either the Wailord or the Inteleon to take a big knockout here. So real unfortunate for Omar, not really being able to get too many basics, but that is kind of the weakness of the fighting deck. It doesn't have very many good options. A lot of the Pokemon are too big for something like a Buddy Poffin, so when you just don't draw them, you don't see the right supporters to get those cards out of the deck, you are just going to see yourself lose versus like Maverick's deck, where he just had access to Buddy Poffin, like the good supporters that allows him to search Pokemon out of his deck, and we really saw that kind of be the determining factor in this game here. But that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can help us out by liking the video and subscribing to the channel so you can keep in touch with all the things that we are doing. And please make sure to check out that sponsor link in the description. Show Lone Star Pack Break some loves. Does a lot for the channel. But with that, my name is Cody, and I'm going to be signing out. Maverick, what are you doing? Get that cable out of here. Oh my, unbelievable.